Welcome to the video overview for the Suicide Awareness Prevention material. Before we begin, we want to make sure to make it very clear that this presentation will focus on a sensitive topic. We want to make sure to provide you with the materials to assist this difficult discussion, but also understand that this can be tough for some, and that is okay. If you need to hit pause and take a couple of deep breaths or a break, that is okay as well. The LIUNA Northwest region has begun an initiative to provide material and training for the entire Northwest region. We understand this is only a brief overview and want to make sure to note there are additional resources available should you need them. The purpose of this video is to begin the conversation about suicide awareness and prevention, and to provide resources. Throughout this video, we will discuss the importance of awareness and prevention, and some key points to remember when dealing with the warning signs of suicide. At the end of this video, we will provide you with additional resources as well. Please note, all of the information throughout this video are from credible and respected professionals in the industry. Construction is one of the industries with the highest rates of suicide amongst its workforce, both in the United States and Canada. Identifying the warning signs of suicide and educating yourself about potential health services can save lives. This is important to note because of the work LIUNA does throughout Western Canada and with our members who are a part of these communities throughout the Northwest region. There are many factors that contribute to the high suicide rate among construction workers. Construction is an industry that involves mentally and physically demanding work. Many workers keep to themselves and do not take the time to share stresses or feelings, leading to a feeling of isolation. Chronic injury or pain can affect the mental health of an individual. Shift work or non-traditional hours, leading to sleep disruption, financial insecurities, no work, no pay, or work may be seasonal. Higher rates of drug and alcohol abuse, including prescription opioid use. Workers may turn to opioids to reduce the pain from a chronic injury. Opioid abuse is linked to a 75% increased likelihood of a suicide attempt. Time away from families, lack of paid sick leave, lack of paid vacation leave, mental health concerns that go unchecked, often due to a stigma or a tough guy, tough girl culture. There are additional factors that contribute to high suicide rates among tribal communities. Indigenous and First Nations experience post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, more than twice as often as the general population. Also, economic barriers and poverty or historical trauma can all be additional factors. This is a further reason LIUNA is partnering with the Indigenous and Aboriginal communities. Over the next few minutes, we will discuss how this information can be used in the field. The materials included in this presentation were provided from partners and resources in the industry. This material is intended only for the purpose of suicide prevention. As you can see, these materials are pocket size. Therefore, they are small and easy to hand out in the field. Those who receive this can easily keep it in their wallet or pocket for easy access if needed. First, you will see a folded card pertinent to each Western Canadian province. For example, we will be using British Columbia for this video. Each of these cards come with warning signs to be aware of and resources you can use to contact for help. Next, you will find a card that is from the University of Washington Forefront Suicide Prevention Program with the LEARN model, which we will discuss shortly. The next item is a hard hat sticker with the National Crisis Text Line for Canada. Now that we have given an overview of these materials, let's dig a little deeper into the contents. First, we will look at the resources folded card. This card discusses some of the most common warning signs someone who is considering suicide might display. This card also contains resources from the Crisis Center website for each Western Canadian province. We are using British Columbia province on this video as an example. However, each province is available. Warning signs include present in many forms. Everyone has the potential to save a life if you know the warning signs, some of which are increased tardiness and absenteeism, decreased productivity, decreased self-confidence, isolation from peers, and agitation and increased conflict among coworkers. The next card is the purple one from the University of Washington's Forefront Suicide Prevention Program. They have developed the LEARN acronym as a guide for you to use when talking with someone who may be showing signs of contemplating suicide. You can find this information on intheforefront.org. The L stands for look for signs. Looking for signs such as someone talking, joking, or researching ways to die. Changes in personality, academic, work performance, sleep, withdrawing from friends or activities. increasing use of alcohol, drugs, reckless behavior, self-harm, cutting, giving away possessions, displaying hopelessness, depression, and or anxiety. If someone talks about giving away possessions or talking about death, these are all signs to look for in regards to someone's mental health. The E stands for empathize and listen. People who have survived suicide attempts report that what was most helpful to them was someone simply just listening. Listen with compassion, remain calm, avoid judgment, and validate their feelings. Don't offer quick fixes and tell them everything will be okay. Refrain from showing anger, panic, or asking why type questions. Let them know you care about them. Do not use phrases like, I know how you feel, but rather, you seem to be going through a tough time right now. What's going on? Or, this must be so hard for you. The A stands for ask directly about suicide. It is important to remember that asking about suicide won't put the idea in someone's mind. Instead, it shows you care. Asking offers them a chance to share their pain. Ask in a way that invites an honest response. Use any signs you've noticed as part of the ask, and be direct. Use the word suicide and be prepared to hear a yes. A way to ask this might be, sometimes when people feel hopeless, they are thinking about suicide. Are you thinking about suicide? The R stands for remove the danger. If they say yes, ask them, do you have a plan? Do you have access to those means? Putting time and distance between a person at risk for suicide and lethal means can save lives. Remove or limit access to firearms, medications, belts, ropes, knives, alcohol, and chemicals. Report concerning posts on social media. The N stands for next steps. The last step in the LEARN model is next level of care. Ideally, together with the person at risk, call the suicide prevention lifeline in your area. If the person will not agree to stay safe, do not leave them alone and call 911. Now that we have gone over the LEARN model, the final item available is a hard hat sticker with the text line resource. This can be used however you see fit. These stickers can be given out to members or employees. Here are some additional tips for how you can help. Open up the lines of communication. Take the time to speak with coworkers about the things that are taking place in and outside of work. If you see someone exhibiting the warning signs of suicide, take the time to speak with them or discuss it with their supervisor. Have a follow-up conversation to make sure your concerns are being taken seriously. Be aware of available company resources such as an employee assistance program, an EAP, and how to access them. Promote good mental and physical health with company wellness programs. Reduce the stigma, change the narrative surrounding suicide. An example of this is by changing the language we use regarding suicide. The preferred language is died by suicide rather than committed suicide to reduce stigma and avoid victim blaming. The word commit sounds like a crime. Suicide is very sad and tragic, not criminal. It is important to know the resources available based on the area nearest you. Some of those resources are Hope for Wellness Helpline at 1-855-242-3310. This line is toll-free and available 24/7. If you are a former residential school student and need crisis referral services, call the Indian Residential School IRS Crisis Line at 1-866-925-4419. This is toll-free and open 24/7. The Center for Suicide Prevention at suicideinfo.ca. Here you can find multiple contact numbers and even take workshops to better prepare yourself to respond to a person at risk of suicide. For the next few resources, you can go to crisisservicescanada.ca and select resources. There you can select your province and find the number best for you. For British Columbia, you can contact the Crisis Line Association of BC at 1-800-784-2433. For mental health support, call 1-800-310-6789. You can also contact KUUS Aboriginal Crisis Line at 1-800-588-8787. Both of these are available 24/7. For more information on the University of Washington Forefront Suicide Prevention Program, you can visit intheforefront.org. And finally, you can visit First Nations and Inuit Health Services by going to sac.ca/. isc.gc.ca. Thank you for your time, and please share this video with your staff, contractors, and anyone else who would benefit from watching it. We appreciate your efforts in ending the stigma and continued awareness of suicide prevention.